Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to take a look at a two hotspot setup where the two hotspots are way too close to each other. On top of that, I've got some really good news for all the subscribers of the channel. So if you're a big fan of this channel, be sure to keep on watching all the way until the end because you will definitely not regret it. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, and again, at the end of the video, don't forget to subscribe. As mentioned in the introduction of the video, we started out with a one lone wolf setup. So we got the bobcat miner about 14 days ago. We set up this hotspot in a completely new area, so there are no other hotspots around there. We are the pioneer with the Helium network in this specific region. When we open up our app, the first thing you will notice is that our reward scale went down from 1 to 0.5. I will explain to you a little bit more in just a second, but this is because we added the second hotspot and it's within the 200 meter range. So that is too close for the algorithm, and that's why we get punished a little bit. Now when we take a look at the results, we see that the hotspot has been online for 12 days, so it took about 2 days for the hotspot to sync. And we have about 1.41 HNT rewards. So looking at the current price of HNT, we see a very nice price point of $17. So if we have on average 0.1 HNT per day, that means we get $1.7 a day with a single hotspot in a completely new region. That's not too bad if you ask me. Scrolling down in our app, we see that we had 0 witnesses. And then the challenges that we got were mostly the challenger reward. And as we can see on the Helium hotspot website, the challenger's rewards are only 1% of the entire reward package. So yeah, this is definitely on low end, but even then with this basic reward, we still have about $1.7 a day. Then jumping back to the last video, so last Sunday we set up a second miner. This time it was the calchip rack hotspot miner, and we set it up in a region about 100 meters from the other hotspot. So yes, that is too close, but I know a lot of you have asked what happens if you put a hotspot within the 300 meter range, and that is something that we are testing right now. So when we open up the app, then yes, we see that this hotspot of course also has the 0.5 reward scale and not a 1 reward scale. Again, this is because they are way too close to each other. When it comes to the rewards, it should have been online for a few days, but I had some issues with setting it up. So normally it takes about 2 days for the hotspot to sync to the blockchain. After 2 days, it wasn't synced yet, so I gave it a third day, and then I took a deeper look, and it turns out that the hotspot was online, but it was not able to sync to the blockchain, and this was completely due to some local network issues. So I think with the Wi-Fi setup, there were some repeaters on that location, and I think this might be causing some issues. So I took the rack miner and I took it downstairs. I connected it directly to the router with a cable, and then it started syncing. So I left it there for 2 days, and that gave us 0.08 HNT on the first day and then 0.05 on the second day. Then I moved it back up for better reception, but then again it had to connect to the Wi-Fi, and then of course it stopped syncing again, so we lost another day. Then I reconnected it to the cable, and then we got the 0.05 HNT reward again. Now the big issue of course that we have here is that so far we didn't get a witness reward or a proof of coverage reward yet, so this one is also only getting the challenger rewards. Now when looking at the checklist of this hotspot, sync to the blockchain is complete, pass a challenge is complete, so those are the challenge rewards. Create a challenge, he did that as well. The status is online, so that is good. And then transfer data, this is something that will be probably hard for most of you, since you have to convince local companies or users to connect to the HNT blockchain and start using it as a data user. So for most of you, this will be left blue or unchecked. Then we have witness a challenge. This is something that I was hoping for that we would get. And then witness list. So right now there are no hotspots in the witness list of this hotspot. They do note newly added hotspots may take a few days to populate their witness list. Since we have been on and off the network, I might have been interrupting this process. So I propose that we give this another week. Now, if you want to know if you have a good location for your hotspot, yes or no, I do recommend to going to hotspotrf.com. There's a link in the description of all of my videos. If you want to know exactly how it works, be sure to check out my video on hotspot.rf. A link will pop up in the top right corner of this video right now. So in this case, we have a 2.3 antenna, 0 cable loss because we're using antenna on the hotspot. We are apparently, as you can see, in the suburbs, so you have to choose the right terrain. And in this case, I have the hotspot directly connected to the router. It's almost on the ground. It's in a corner, so it's a terrible location. So if we simulate this location, just click simulate. And then you can see that there might be a little bit of an issue. We also noticed that the dots of the current hotspots, because yeah, I added a hotspot next to this one by doing the simulation, we would bring the reward scale from 0.5 down to 0.3. So that's also interesting to see. And why you should use hotspot.rf. You can see what the effect is on the local network. So by adding a third hotspot next to the other one, I would bring down the reward scale even more than I did by adding those two hotspots so close to each other. But yeah, just to have an idea of what my reach would be, putting it on the ground is of course not a good idea, as you can see. So that is why today I got a longer Ethernet cable and a different antenna, which I was able to mount to the window. So I think it should be on height right about this. Let's click simulate again and see what the result will be. There you go. Simply by adding a little bit of height, the reach will be increased significantly. So again, height is very important when it comes to positioning the antenna of your hotspot. So looking at this result, I think we can conclude that reaching the other hotspot should not be any issue. So there is just one more thing that we have to keep in mind. If on a technical level it is not an issue for those two hotspots to reach each other, then of course there is still one thing that remains, and this is the protocol of Helium itself. Now, I did a little bit of research and I found this little article. So if hotspots are too close, so within 300 meters, and I think these ones are within 100 meters even, they will end up not being able to witness each other and may compete with each other for challenges. Their overall participation in the proof of coverage will not be impacted. It's better to have them spaced out at least a few houses or blocks away to broaden network coverage. As I said in previous videos, the entire goal of the protocol is to reward people who build out the network. So putting hotspots too close to each other is not really helping the network grow. Now, what I mean with this part, their overall participation in proof of coverage would be impacted. In theory, you can still participate in proof of coverage. So if I would add a third hotspot a bit further away outside the 300 meter range, my assumption is that they can both witness this hotspot and can compete for the proof of coverage rewards. Now in this specific case, we only have two hotspots set up and they're too close to each other. So if they can't provide any proof of coverage to each other, my assumption is that both of them will not be able to get the proof of coverage reward and the witness reward. So that would mean that they will both only get the challenger rewards, and that would mean that it's not interesting to buy two hotspots and put them close to each other. I think in that case it's better to just buy one, or definitely look for a better second location. Now, because I want to be 100% certain that this is all correct, as I've said, I bought a longer cable. I used a different antenna. I put it up about 0.5 feet up in the air. As you've seen with the simulation, this should create a lot of coverage with that antenna, so range should not be an issue. So we'll leave it running for a few days, and if we still don't get any proof of coverage or witness rewards, then I think we can be 100% certain what the result will be if you buy two hotspots and you put them within the 300 meter range. Now, in the beginning of this video, I did say I had some good news for all the subscribers out there, and that is that we've reached over 10,000 subscribers this week, and that, of course, is an amazing result. So I want to say thank you guys for all the support that you've given the channel, and I hope that we can continue growing at this same pace. Of course, I don't just want to say thank you, and I did say that I have more good news. Now, the second good thing that happened is that the rack hotspot miner that I ordered several weeks ago has also arrived. So I thought we hit the 10,000 subscriber mark and I get a hotspot miner in stock, and I know most of you guys are here for the Helium content. So what better way to celebrate this that I just give away my hotspot to one of you guys who have been so supportive of the channel. Now, because I want to make sure that one of the subscribers can win and that we don't have a bunch of people just entering to win a miner and that don't follow the channel, I didn't talk about it in the introduction of the video. I won't put it in the title of this video. And I also came up with an idea to use a keyword. So in this case, it will be banana. So let's quickly go over the rules. First of all, you have to be a subscriber of the channel. You have to like this video. Then you have to post a comment. It doesn't matter what you type in the comment, just be sure to use the keyword banana. This way I can easily filter out the comments, and if people talk about the giveaway and they don't watch the video, then they won't know that they have to enter the keyword banana. Also, please check if you can use an EU miner. I ordered this miner a while ago. I wasn't planning a giveaway, so I ordered it for myself. This means that I ordered an EU miner which uses the 868 megahertz frequency. Sadly, you can't use this in the US and in a bunch of other regions. So if you want to be sure that you can use the miner, click on this link to check your frequency for your specific region. So really sorry for people from the US, but do keep in mind I ordered this miner for myself. I wasn't planning any giveaway. That's why this is an EU miner. It's also important to know if you live outside of the EU and you would win, that you'll have to pay import taxes. So I will pay for the shipping, but if you have to import a product, then you'll have to pay for the import taxes. And then last but not least, you have to enter this form before next Sunday. So you have to enter it before Sunday the 16th in order to be eligible. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys keep supporting the channel as you have done so far, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks.